Hi guys, Larissa from Prodigal Pieces here. I have a super fun thrifting makeover for you today using those. Apparently somebody wanted their footstools to match, and the fabric matches but isn't quite put on right, and I don't think quite suits the style of the footstool, but you know, if it's yours you can do whatever you want. But I'm going to show you a fun upgrade today to these footstools, making use of some sweaters. Now, hang with me now. I have a super passion for felted wool. It is one of the most versatile mediums you can use for hand stitching, just hand creating, crafting. I have made quilts, I have made toys, journal covers, mittens, hats, you name it. So next time at your thrift store, I suggest you head to the clothing department. You can look at men's or women's. What you're looking for is a sweater. Here is a nice sweater, and I honestly leave the ones that are nice enough that don't need to be repaired because somebody might be able to use it for the winter weather, but I look for the ones that have maybe moth holes, damaged stuff like that. I do snag the good ones sometimes when I need them, but try to leave those there. But you want to look for a mix of at least 70% wool to do this right. So majority of it needs to be wool, but it can be a blend. This one here has some holes in it, and we'll be going through the wash. I have the full instructions over on the blog, prodigalpieces.com. We're going to wash this several times on high heat water, but also dry it on high heat until eventually we get something like this. Now this was a extra large sweater. Does it look extra large now? No, don't think so. But if you can see, it's really tight, matted, nice, perfect for what we're going to be doing here. The whole reason of using the wool is it's durable, it's pretty, warms your feet even when it's sitting on here. So I'm going to be taking the one sweater, going to go drop it in my wash while we're doing the rest. So I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if you can hear the washer running in the background, but they're going. And when I do those, I do several sweaters at once. It just makes it easier, obviously, on the machines and time. So consider that too. Do several at once. And then you can just store them and have them for later for when you're ready to go. When I was talking about this footstool upholstery here, this one isn't so bad because it's hidden under the frame, but this one here, they just basically wrapped the fabric around and stapled it. I'll show you a close-up. But when you're doing that with a different kind of fabric like this, you want to fold it, do it right. So we're going to take these off, and well, you could use just a basic flathead screwdriver and pliers here to pull them out. I like to use a staple puller, staple remover. Super cheap tool, about $6 I think. I'll have the links for you, and it pops them right out. So I'm gonna go around and take these off. All right, there we go. Here's our nude little stool. It's not an antique or anything like that, just a pine footstool, but still cute. Looks like it had some different upholstery on it at one point. I do have a tutorial how to cover footstools. I've done chairs and all sorts of upholstery, and really these are one of the great ways to start to learn how to do your own furniture. You take it apart and basically put it back together. So what we have here is what I would say is kind of like our template. We're going to use this to cut out on our sweater, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how to put this back on. So the next step is I cut apart the sweater, and I like to make use of every inch of these things. I'm not kidding, you can use every little bit. I have bunches of scrap, but I do work through them. But what I like to do is cut down the seams so that I get the maximized use of it. The sleeves here make for wonderful things. The neckband even here would make a cute headband. Lots of ways to use this, but what you want to consider is the size of the fabric that you took off. And because these are small stools here, you should be able to get easily a panel out of at least one side, and you would place your fabric that you took off in the spot that you would want to use. Since this sweater just goes, I'm just going to cut it out, and you can do a rough cut. The wonderful thing about felted wool is when it cuts, it stays. It's so matted. The wool fibers get so matted from that hot washing, hot drying that you can cut it and it doesn't fray. So you don't have to worry about that. It's a very forgiving fabric. That's what's so great about it. I'm kind of just going for where it fits best. I decided to choose the colorful side of the sweater. I could have used this side here to keep it all the same, but I'll save that for later. So here we go. All right. Kind of gives it a Nordic feel. I don't know about you, but I like that cozy feel, the Nordic designs. What I'm going to be doing is boxing the corners because we're going to have a lot of bulk because this is a heavy material. And what I mean by boxing the corners is I'm going to put it on the stool, flip it upside down, or just lay it down and put it down, whatever. I'll show a close-up picture, an overhead shot here. It's just to let you see what I mean. But I'm going to basically cut to the corner from each side. So I pull out a square that's equal on both sides. So let's say this is roughly a 2-inch square I'm cutting out of the corner. The reason I'm doing that is it gets rid of the bulk, okay? It's going to be coming out. So that way when we pull the fabric over, we can kind of crisscross it, overlap it. It'll hide that box corner, make it nice and tight. Okay, now I've boxed my corners. All the 4 corners, I'll show you here, are cut out. Can you see that? All right, so we're just going to fold that up over. And like I said, scraps make for cool stuff. So hang on to those. You never know. Or pass them on to someone else who would use it, but no need to throw it away for sure. Next, I'll be using my stapler gun. You could use the basic handheld stapler. I definitely prefer this. This is easier on my wrist and hand, and I use it for all sorts of things around my house, for all my DIYs, tutorials. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to draw the camera in here just so you can see. Okay, I hope that's a little bit better. What I'm going to be doing, if you noticed, I did put on my safety glasses and some hearing protection because it can snap loud. And mind you, we're not doing much, but I do this a lot, so I like to take precaution. As I said before, if I wasn't using the felted wool, I would be folding under the fabric, so it's a nice clean edge. And we want it nice and taut, so you want to push down on the stool and work from this side to this side, then turn and work this side to this side. So we get nice, even. You want to make sure your fabric, whatever it is, if the pattern needs to run a certain way that it's not going lumberjaw on the other side, you're pulling tighter on one side the other. So it's always good to flip it over and check as you go. But here we go. I'm going to tack on, starting here in the middle. Okay, there's the one side. I'm going to take and flip and push down just a hair. Sometimes I use my knees if the item is larger. Okay, we're going to take it over, getting good coverage there. Now we're going to start on the other side. And I'm anticipating I'm going to have to do some trimming here, so you can do that after you're done, no problem. What I'm going to be doing is basically grabbing and tugging and overlapping those corners. Did you see that? Okay, 2 corners, pulling and pulling this across, and then we'll trim that off. So I'm going to face it toward me so I get it right here. Okay, I'm going to finish up this one. Then I'm going to do as I mentioned with that one, strip and recover it with the sweater that I'm washing, and I'll show you what they look like all completed in a bit. So how was that? 2 thrifted footstools. It totally had a dated look to them, and really I didn't do much to improve them other than change the top. But now they have such a cozy feel, and they're perfect. Perfect for sticking our feet up on, totally enjoying and relaxing. Really, you can't beat it. They're cute. They look more of have a Nordic feel, I would say, almost farmhousey, modern farmhouse anyway. But I love it. I love the sweaters. Even this one, the squat little one here. The sweater's so cute. Anyway, this just goes to show you can pretty much take anything you want and transform it to suit your home decor. I certainly have a mixed, eclectic feel in my home, but I have fun creating things from what I find. And more than anything, I'm all about being out of the box store. Just think outside the box. Do your own thing. Do your own home. Make it your own home story. I invite you to come on over to prodigalpieces.com to see what else I have. Check out my other videos, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Would you have used sweaters, maybe something else? Would you have painted them, at least the base anyway? I don't know, I'd love to hear, I'd love feedback. But anyway, come see me, say hi, and stay tuned for what we have next. Bye! I'll check you all later.